Okay. Because if being ugly was a crime, I would be locked up right now. FBI, open up! Don't call the police.
911, what is your emergency?
There's a really ugly girl next to me.
Okay. What is the child's name and age?
Heaven, and she's 15.
Okay.
Okay, anyway guys, so today I'll be making a video or doing like a little story time about the time I got locked out the house in Africa, in a whole different continent. So, a little background. We were supposed to be moving to Africa for good, like never come back to America type for good. Yeah. So yeah, we supposed to be moving to Africa for good. We had packed up the whole container to go to Africa, and when we moved, that was the first time ever to the continent, visiting, first time seeing everything. So I was in Pram Pram, Ghana. So the background of my mom, she loved the German Shepherd. So I was sleeping in the car because we was on our way to the house, and traffic is really long. So I just take a nap in the car. So I'm taking a nap in the car, and I hear like a whole bunch of dogs barking and stuff. And I looked out the window. There was like this female German Shepherd, and then a quieter dog ran up to the gate, and it was a male German Shepherd. And then we noticed there was like a whole lot of babies inside the gate. So it was like had like 6, 7 babies or whatever. My mom was like, I want one, but she wasn't getting one. So we went back to the house or whatever, and I went to sleep or whatever. Next day she was like, oh, we were going to get the dogs tomorrow, like a dog tomorrow. So I'm like, okay, cause you want another dog? I just got my dog. So we the next day they went and got the dog and named her Kumasi. But yeah, so we named her Kumasi or whatever. So then we was taking care of her more than my mom was. The freak. So she would sleep with us. She used to stay in our room or whatever. And we make like this little thing out of the little, footrests that go to the end of the couches. We took 4 of those because it's 2 in each room. We have 2 bedrooms, and we took them and put them together, all together, like I did. Put them all together, the boxes, and then put a rug over top of it so it would be comfortable for her, that she didn't fall between the two, all of the footrests. So we put it together, and we put it up in the corner because all she did all day was sleep. She was a newborn baby, newborn. It's like a good 6 weeks at the time. So she was new, and all she did sleep all day and be clumsy. So we was sleeping because we was like in Africa. I slept really early. Like I would sleep at like a good 9:30 type early. So it was late. Well, that's not late for me now, but it was late for me in Africa. So I woke up, and I'm like, what's that smell? And it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I woke up like, what's that smell? And my brother was like, did you poop on yourself? And he was talking about like my baby sister, but like she was asleep, so he was just talking to her like a weirdo. He's like, did you poop on yourself? And he started looking at her butt or whatever, and he started looking at my brother's butt and stuff. And I look over and I see like this big like turd of doo-doo. Like it was stanky too. It was bad. And she was looking up at us, and then she tried to get back on the little footsteps, like the footrest, to go back to sleep. So I'm like, so I look at Jamal look at me, I look at him, we look at the poop, and I'm like, okay, so you clean the poop up and I'll go take the dog out. Mind you, I'm mad sleepy. Like this is 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever. So I leave out the door. It's a kitchen, and then it's a door, and then it's like an enclosed little patio or balcony. No, this is definitely a patio. Like a patio, and then it's like a sliding door to go outside. So, what I did is I went into the patio, and then I opened the sliding door, put the dog out there, closed the sliding door, and locked it because it was this guy that was staying with us, and he slept inside the car. So he was sleeping inside the car. He likes sleeping inside the car. I don't know why, but he just likes sleeping inside the car. He slept in the car, and I don't like older men. So I usually just keep my distance. So I stayed inside the patio and I locked the screen door. So I closed the door behind me because every time the dog came in, she ran back inside the house, and I was like, stop running back inside the house. But the door kind of like, it was so heavy that the door closed itself. But like I remember pulling on it because I'm used to closing doors behind me. And every time I opened the door, she ran inside the house, and I really wanted her to pee really bad. I wanted her to poop, so she wouldn't do it no more while I'm sleeping. So I close it and I sit down and wait for her. I see her pee or poop. So I saw her pee and poop, and then I opened the thing and she jumped back inside the patio. So I grab her up, pick her up, like, cause she's a little baby. I pick her up and then I tug on the door and it was locked. So I'm like, I tug again, and start jiggling it. And I put the dog back down on the floor and she laid down and like took a little nap or whatever. So I'm still tugging on the door and I start knocking. I'm like, Jamon, I'm locked out. Jamon, I'm locked out. So the guy that I'm talking about is in the car. Sometimes he comes into the patio and he charges. Okay, so he goes and charges. He uses like a long extension cord and he charges it up inside the kitchen through this like window. He had this window inside the kitchen going out to the patio. So he slide it open and plug it in the kitchen and leave the cord outside. So when he out there doing stuff, he can plug his phone up and charge at the same time. So that window was open, so it's like bars on all the windows in Africa for some reason. There's always bars on it because people break in like houses, I guess, a lot. So I'm like yelling through the bars. I'm like, come on, help, help, help. And then I noticed that the kitchen door was closed too. I'm like, what the heck? How did the kitchen door get closed? And I'm thinking he didn't clean up the poop or whatever. So I'm out there for a good 2 hours, like crying and stuff. Like I'm not gonna be able to get in the house. And I was just like sad and stuff. And then I'm yelling and I'm like, open up, open up, open up. So I started doing this little knock. We have a signature knock. The whole family knows it. So if you do that signature knock, they know that it's you. It's usually for when we at hotels and stuff. So we won't get mistaken by anybody else. Or we'll like open the door for just anybody. So we use it at hotels or at the house or really anything. So I'm over here doing the knock or whatever, and I'm singing the song. So I started singing, like, doing the beat to the song. So after I wipe my tears or whatever, I'm like, okay, what's the song that they know? And they would know that I'm singing it because it's me. So I just song that me and my dad in the comments called Sabotage by Wale, and I think it's, I want to say, who is that? Lloyd? I don't know. But I know it's Wale. So I'm like, my girl likes to sabotage. So I'm over here singing the song, whatever. So nobody, I heard some murmuring, like whispering or whatever. I'm like, so what the heck is going on? So I'm really low on space right now, y'all. So I'm really trying to hurry up and tell the rest of the story. So I'm singing the song or whatever, and I'm knocking and stuff, and I guess they didn't hear me, so I just started banging. It was like, help me, let me in. So I heard murmuring, and I just hear walking around the house, but I don't see anybody because the kitchen door is closed and the front door, the patio door is closed, and the patio door didn't have no window. So I was looking through the window, but the kitchen door was closed. The kitchen door don't have no window either. So I'm just like, what the freak? And I did the knock again because I heard him like close to the door, so I did the knock. That's when, I saw the kitchen door open, and I ran to the patio door, and I opened it, and my mom and my dad are standing right there, and I was like, so they was like, what was you outside? What was you doing out there? You know you're not supposed to be going out there alone. Why would you tell us first, this, that, and the third? I'm like, Jamon's supposed to be up in there right now, cleaning up the freaking doo-doo right now off the floor because this dog wanted to poop on all over the freaking floor. He said, come, Jamon ain't cleaning up no poop. Jamon is asleep. I said, excuse me?
Bitch, what?
He said, Jamon is asleep. What are you talking about? Don't clean up no poop. He's asleep. So I'm like,
What did he say?
so I'm looking at them and I'm like, he was like, why the fuck was you out there without telling us that you was going out there? I was like, because I didn't even go outside. I just stayed inside the patio. I took the dog outside, but I didn't go nowhere. She was like, you know that you know that this door locks automatically when it closes. I'm like, And I started thinking about everything. And then the dude that I was talking about that tried his phone up out there, usually when the doors open and I'm over there washing the dishes, because the sink is right beside the door, I closed the door. And then he be looking out through the window like, and I'm like, what? But I'm thinking the whole time, he been getting locked out whenever I closed the door. And then my parents or somebody else go open the door for him. So I was just like, started thinking, like, what the heck? And I'm like, you serious? And I thought that your mom locked me out there or whatever. So I wasn't even thinking about it though. I was not thinking about how the door locked. I just knew that the door was locked, and that's all that really mattered. That the door was freaking locked, and I gotta get back in the house. So I left, like I walked past them, and I walked to the bedroom, and I see my brother in the bed sleep with the poop still on the floor. All the poop still on the floor. Every single bit, no dragged or nothing. Like he'd even tried. He literally got up and lay right back down after I left the room. So I hold up my bargain, but he couldn't hold up his. Like, mind you, I'm out here for 3 hours. I've been out there for 3 hours now. So I'm like, oh my God, this is freaking stupid. It's 6 o'clock in the freaking morning. 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm getting back inside the bed, and I cleaned up my poop myself. I had to clean up the poop and taking the dog out, which makes no sense. But like, more of the story, don't trust your family either. Like, dang. Blood means you're related. Loyalty means your family. But so I'm listening to my parents' stories. Like, I was like, I'm tired, y'all. I cannot deal with the argument tonight because they was cussing me out about going out without asking. So I just went to bed. The next morning, we talked about the situation, and they said they was hearing me out there for quite a while, and they called the security guard of the complex or the neighborhood because they thought that I was somebody who got raped and was begging and pleading to be brought back into the house or something. And they thought that I was running from a murderer or something, and I was banging on the door saying, let me in, let me in. They said that's all they heard was, let me in, help me, let me in, let me in. So when they heard the knock, that my dad went into the room. Okay, first, so when they heard the help me, they all went inside the room. My mom and my dad. So they looked inside the bed and they saw all 4 of us. So they went back into the room and they called security. And they was calling Forco. I'm gonna call him Forco. The dude that was sleeping in the car. They was calling him like crazy, and they Jesus Christ. Okay, so they called him and they thought that he died or something because from the murderer or whatever they got to Forco. So when they let me, they heard my knock, my signature knock. They went back inside the room and pulled the covers up and saw that I was missing. So they ran back to the door and they opened it up and they found out it was me. They said their heart dropped like when they found out that I was gone. There was somebody yelling for help and it was their daughter. They were scared. But what really happened was me getting locked out, and Forco was fine. He just slept through the calls. They ended up having to call security. Okay, it's starting to get irritated. But so yeah, everything was ended up being fine. They was really sad that I was out there for that long, and because my brother did not stay up with me, and he asked to go back to sleep and stuff like that. And my brother did get cussed out on my behalf because of the situation, him not getting up and him being lazy and not even cleaning the poop up or nothing or helping me or whatever. So he did get cussed out. He heard the whole story. He didn't even care. Like, he didn't even care that I was out there for 4 hours because he didn't stay up. If he would have stayed up, I would have knocked once, like, Jamal, I'm locked out, and he would have come up on the door. But no, because he wanted to go to sleep without even cleaning the poop, I ended up staying out there for longer. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Like today's video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below if you want to see more story times. I got like 2 more story times that I have in mind, and if you want to see them, make sure you comment down below because I'm ready to bring them. Okay? But yeah. See you later, guys.